My name is Niruban Balachandran. I'm from the Harvard Kennedy School of Government. I'm a mid-career MPA program candidate, and currently I work for the World Bank, and I'm studying foreign policy, especially U.S. and Asia relations. So I'm from the United States, and my mother and my father are from Sri Lanka. My wife is from Indonesia, and I come from a background where my parents are Hindu. I was raised in a Baptist church in school, and my wife is Muslim. A lot of what I do is my passion now is interfaith peace building. Especially, I'm interested in Muslim and Jewish relations. I've been to both Indonesia and Israel, and the most recent project I've done was to bring Indonesians and Israelis together in an interfaith dinner. A lot of that was inspired by what I learned here in the Transformational Leadership and Spiritual Development class. At the Kennedy School, we talk a lot about the diplomatic and geostrategic and geopolitical aspects of international relations, but we don't talk as much about the interfaith cooperation and peace building and dialogue and contemplative practice dimensions of international relations. And I think I've learned a lot in this particular class about how to bring those practices and those important issues to interfaith leadership and interfaith cooperation. I think some of the qualities that we all need to remember in terms of our identities as peace practitioners, and by the way, being in this class helped me sort of recommit to this part of my identity as a peace practitioner. Some of the qualities that we need to keep in mind are things such as not only humility, but also the capacity for persistence and outreach when it comes to interfaith peace building. There are lots of different disagreements and differences in opinions in the world, and I think by being in this particular environment, in this class where so many of our classmates have dealt with those sorts of conflicts before and also come from different worldviews, I see exemplary qualities in them that I would also like to, I guess you can say, I would also see as a model for myself. So one of the things that I think I've really learned to apply based on what we've learned in our transformational leadership and spiritual development class is the relationship between one's inner work and our capacity for leadership. And by learning from my classmates about all the different contemplative practices that are out there, that are being used, I learned practices that I didn't even know about before. And so I've taken on some of those practices myself in terms of meditation and prayer and contemplative writing and other practices. And I think, for example, in our work at the Kennedy School, we do a lot of work on the outer relationships that we have with stakeholders, with partners, with adversaries, who knows. But I think we don't focus enough on our inner work. And by taking this class, I've really learned to do that inner work. And it's observable in heads of state and leaders today, who has done their inner work and who has not done so much of it. So this class has been so invaluable to me in terms of practicing that inner work and turning the focus, turning the lens inward first before really thinking about what is needed in terms of leadership in the world today and in international relations. This is probably one of the most discussion-focused classes that I've been in. It's structured in a way that usually there's a mentor, and usually he or she will present the key concepts or principles that can be applied in spiritual development and transformational leadership. But at the same time, we also have a lot of opportunities to go around the room, share our wisdom, get into wisdom circles, even do wisdom consults where we ask for advice from each other as well. So I would say it's one of the most discussion focused classes I've taken here, which is a refreshing change for me. And also, I think we learn more from each other that way as well. So these days, we're all working against this global backdrop of increased ethnopolitical tensions. There are divisions across various lines. There is an increase in populist nationalism globally as well. And I think the class and what the school is doing right now is very timely. From a leadership perspective, I think these bridge building skills, these cooperation building skills, these consensus building skills are indispensable. And I have not learned that anywhere except for here in this particular class, in the Transformational Leadership and Spiritual Development class. So from a leadership perspective and from the needs of the world perspective, for lack of a better term, this class is a great training ground in this particular area, I would say. So even though I'm from the Kennedy School and we learn a lot about governance and diplomacy and foreign policy and public policy, for me, the Divinity School is a national treasure. I mean, this is one of the most inclusive and tolerant places on earth. And I think because of the spiritual development and transformational leadership that we've learned in class, these are some really, really indispensable skills that have personally affected me the most out of almost any experience I've had during my time here at Harvard. And this place is going to continue to be very close to my heart, simply because I really do think that the training that we have here should be scaled and replicated in other parts of the world, and that more students who are interested in learning how to address these problems that the world is facing right now, they should at least be exposed to the training that I've had the fortune to have experienced here as well.